Hello from Ioannis Bras, CEO of 5 Sense Consulting Development, and welcome back to another episode of Wins Around the World with Seatrade Cruise Talks. And what a team I have today with me. It's incredible. Let me start with Figen, Ayan, Chief Port Officer of Galataport, Istanbul. Hello, Figen. Nice to have you with us.
It's a great pleasure to be with you today, Ioannis, and all our friends.
Thank you again. Next is John Portelli, General Manager of Roma Cruise Terminal. Hi, John. Nice to have you with us.
Hi, Ioannis. Good to see you, and also great to be, together with friends like Figen. I've just had the pleasure of meeting Nikos. Obviously, I hope that we can meet in person very soon, as well. So good to be here.
Thank you, John, and of course, Nikolaos Vardalachos, who is the Mykonos Port Cruise Manager. Hi, Nikos, and welcome.
Welcome. Thank you very much for your invitation, and I'm very glad to meet you, all of you.
Thank you. And let me start with John and ask you how it has been, John, and what is the situation today in your beautiful destination and port.
Well, let's say it's obviously, like all of us involved in the cruise sector, it's been 2 years, 2 very difficult years, but let's say that we've started this year. We've had our regular weekly calls, but as you know, Ioannis, winter isn't really a barometer of what shows what's ahead. Winter has always represented like 10%. The months January, February, and March, and also December, have always represented like 10% of our total volumes. But it's good to see that all the calls that we had for this winter season have been confirmed. And so, yes, we're going ahead and looking forward with optimism for this year.
Excellent. And I've been in the past with a cruise ship to your port, and I know how beautiful the area is, but we'll talk about this in a while. Nikos, Mykonos was amongst the first ports, not only in Greece, but worldwide, that back in 2020, actually, that restarted. Tell us a little bit about this journey, the journey of restarting and the experience you had so far.
Yannis, you know very well that Mykonos faced more serious problem on the cruise in the past instead of COVID-19, taking into account that Mykonos is dealing with the cruise ships since 1926. And of course, that happens due to the ancient sacred island that we have, Delos, the holy island of ancient god Apollo. Imagine now that during the Second World War, Mykonos was zeroed on tourism, and we make a comeback in 1956, so many years later. So for us, 2020 was, let's say, a great opportunity of re-engineering, but also we have an extensive experience in tourism and in cruise industry. So that experience helped Mykonos to manage to overcome the pandemic issues of COVID in a rapid way, like the rapid test that we made. So together with the municipality of Mykonos, cooperated to a great position in order to offer free rapid tests to all of our visitors on the port. We are one of the first ports to draw up an emergency response plan for dealing with the COVID-19. So what was the opportunity? The opportunity after the re-engineering was that we didn't lose cruise even in 2020. We have 15 calls instead of other ports that they have 0. We have, let's say, 1,000 visitors. Compare, of course, they are very, very low for Mykonos, but instead of 0, 1,000 is a great opportunity when all the other ports were in a very, very bad position. So, of course, it was not a very easy journey. You know very well what we did and how we managed to do, taking into account the bureaucracies and a lot of, let's say, unstable issues that we have to face, because pandemic in 2020 2020 was an unexpected, let's say, situation for all of us. However, you know that we did our best. You remember, that we take the opportunity of our trademarks like Pelican. We build up, a lot of signs in order to keep distance with the dolphins, which is the brand name of Mykonos Port Authority. We used Pelican like in order to guide our visitors and to keep the distance of 1.5 meters, which is the size of a pelican. So our Mykonian bird became, let's say, a world brand for avoiding, let's say, very, very close distances and causing issues, for pandemic. So I think that we managed to do a lot of things, even if the numbers do not give this kind of feedback. However, you know very well that 2021, we are again one of our Greek ports that we produced, let's say, an emergency action plan for COVID-19. And we managed to have so many arrivals, taking into account that we have 252 calls, and we have the great opportunity to have more than 200,000 visitors from cruise ships. So amazing. I think that it's a very good restart. It's a very good restart, and we have a lot of opportunities to deal with in the next year.
Definitely, Nikos, and I can vouch for the effort. I was involved with the development of your emergency plan, and we had good long discussions with the authorities, and communication and cooperation is the key, and it will always be in no matter what port you are, wherever you are in the world. Thank you. So, Figen, I was very lucky and very intrigued to visit you about 2 months ago now. And I know that you have some very exciting news to share with our viewers, our visitors about Galataport and the whole region. Wow, what a new terminal you have. Talk us about this. Tell us about what's happening in Galata and Istanbul.
Well, Galataport Istanbul finally opened its doors, not only for the cruise industry. We are more than a port, Ioannis. We open our doors for all the locals and also all the tourists visiting Istanbul. I see Galataport Istanbul as a socially sustainable project, in the sense that the cruise industry and the community, the locals and the tourists coming to the city are harmoniously coming together in a beautiful place. And we have been able to do it and to open up a 1.2 kilometer promenade, which was closed for over 200 years, which means that they were behind fences. Whether there was a ship or not, it was behind fences, it was custom zone. So what we did is to build up the whole terminal building, a 29,000 square meter terminal building under the ground. So we built up a kind of airport under the ground, and we created a hatch system, which is separating the custom zone from the rest of the property, from the cafes, restaurants. So while the ship is in port, the hatches are opening up as many hatches as the size of the ship. We're delimiting our ISPS area and our custom zone. So while I'm doing my, my cruise activity, the passengers disembarking, the luggage being handled, well, in the meantime, the activity in the ground level is continuing in its pace with 240 mostly restaurants, boutiques, museums, squares that we have discovered. So yeah, it's exciting. It's really exciting because we have brought really the cruise facility in another level, and we are a home port. So it's not only a transit port or a port of call where people are just entering and going. We're just really logistically managing a massive operation under the ground as a first in the world.
Wow. I can tell you this, I will make you promise that when I come back to visit you, I will be the one to push the button to raise your fences. I would love to do that.
That would work. We'll do it with
Thank
the
you.
custom officers. That would work, Ioannis.
Thank you. Thank you. John, I mean, you've been in the industry for a long time, and I know you're highly respected and you're a good friend, and I will value your opinion. What development do you see in the region, and how fast you think cruises will come back? Bearing in mind that now we are in a decline phase of Omicron, and we expect to have a reasonably good year, and that we have new ships coming out, and obviously taking everything into account.
Well, thank you for your comments. How do I see the cruise lines coming back? Well, obviously, even when we were preparing our plans for this year, we had to take a very cautious approach. Bear in mind that last year we handled 519,000 passengers and 270 ships. But if you had to compare that with 2019, where we had 2.7 million passengers and over 800 ships, so that was the shift. So as I said, what we're seeing and what I'm reading, and well, what you are reading, what all of us are reading, is that there is this demand of passengers who want to come back. I just read just 2 days ago a survey amongst passengers who have, even American passengers who selected, Mediterranean as their favorite destination for this year. So bookings are up. What I find challenging is not so much having the ships positioned in the Mediterranean, because the ships can be positioned in the Mediterranean, and we're seeing them, and we're seeing the announcements. All the major brands and all the lines are, placing their ships in the Mediterranean. And what I can say is that, compared to 2020 or even last year, it's not that we're not receiving cancellations, for this year. We're seeing that the lines are confirming that their course. Capacity is another issue, but the capacity will start returning back gradually. I think it's more also an issue of whether flights will be available. I'm also, for 2 years now, I've been tracing the statistics and the forecast from Eurocontrol, because it's very important, particularly for terminal ports like Civitavecchia, where we're one of the major turnaround hubs in the cruise sector. It's very important, just to understand the links, the air links that are available. We also have to see not just the health, the impact of Omicron and all these variants, but also the disposable income available to to the seasoned cruisers, but also those cruisers who wanted to start. Again, sort of what will they be deciding to go on a cruise, or what sort of holiday would they want to opt to this year? But as I said in my introduction, I'm looking towards 2022 as the restart year. It may not be the year that we had in 2019, but 2022 is sort of a restart year where I would see that we will have good numbers, but not the record numbers that we've had in the past. So I'm optimistic, and particularly the Mediterranean. People want to travel. People have seen that cruise is a safe way to travel. As I said, we've handled 519,000 passengers. If one had to see the systems that were in place throughout last year, very solid, and the systems that were on board ships. So the industry has shown that it was prepared. It has introduced systems that are robust, and that people feel that the cruise is a safe holiday for them and the loved ones.
I think this is the last thing is so important, John, to pass on the message to our viewers that yes, I do believe also that the cruise industry is so much into providing the healthiest way of traveling, one of the healthiest, one of the most serious. Ships have increased the medical facilities, the vaccination certificates, the testing. So, I mean, I've often said that that's my preferred choice of going on holiday. And I would very much recommend to our friends and viewers to do the same. There's so many beautiful destinations. I'm so happy. I have 3 ports from the Med, from my home region today with us. And so the Med is an excellent place to come and do and explore so many civilizations, so many cultures around the Med, and so much diversity. So I agree very much with you. Okay, Nikos, Mykonos is a must-see destination, a bucket list, if you want, for many people. I know that you've been very busy on improving small infrastructure projects while in the pandemic and in the last couple of years to make the average life easier. I mean, go us through some of the changes, some of the improvements you've been doing in the port, because I know many people want to visit Mykonos this summer, not just as cruise passengers, but also as tourists. But how are you making life easier for the cruise ships and the passengers?
Yannis, it's true. We have some construction projects that are currently being implemented in the ports of Mykonos, both ports, I mean, old and new one. Our target is to exceed our visitors' requirements, and these projects have to do with the security and the accessibility, regardless of our visitor age and their origin. So the most important projects that are currently being implemented is the renovation of all the buildings inside the cruise terminal. We improve all the pathways of cruise terminal at the new port, and also we have done a new renovation of the downtown seaside stone pathways. We have stone pathways all over Mykonos downtown. We are responsible, of course, for the main pathway, which is on the seaside of the old town. And we have a big reconstruction on that in order to make it more easy and safe, especially for elders visitors. In the matters of port security, we are in the process of procuring an artificial intelligence system of CCTV and access control. The public bid is already running for a few months, so hopefully this year we are going to have an agreement, and we are expecting to have a more improvement on access control and security staff for the security of our visitors and, of course, the cruise ships that we are expecting to have during the 2022. And take into account that 2022, it's not just a restarting for us, it's a great opportunity if it is possible to overcome the result of 2019. And I'm telling you that because you know that already we have a scheduled calls of 836, when in 2019 we have only 550 calls. I don't know if the visitor were going to be so many like 19, but we are expecting to see that, because last year Mykonos overcame the number of visitors during August, September, and July. We have more tourists during these 3 months than the 3 months of 2019. July, August, and September, we have more visitors than 2019. So, Municipality of Mykonos, Port Authority of Mykonos, and all the public sector is working as fast as it's possible to overcome issues in order to manage and serve more than 2 million, definitely more than 2 million visitors this year. we know we have made a great job, not only at the port, but generally in the island. We have problems with the water supply, a lot of things. Now we have big projects for overcoming all of these issues. And I think that the visitor will have the opportunity to enjoy the stay in Mykonos this year. And we hope also pandemic leave us to live, to enjoy this. I mean, the reconnection of us.
I will tell you what we will do, Nikos. When you finish your old port pavement, the tiling, we will organize a big Sirtaki dance, like we did a few years back, which was was like 300 meters long, something, and we will set a Guinness World Record with the longest Sirtaki danced in a port ever.
Ioannis
Okay,
we'll do that. We have yes, we organize that, and hopefully it's going to be during the Easter time, if it is possible. We arrange this great opportunity of dancing, and we're going to do it on the seaside pathway. You will see Sirtaki dancing, hopefully before Easter time or somewhere there. I'll let you know. You're going to be the first to receive this invitation.
I will be there. I will be there.
All of you, and it's going to be a great pleasure to see you in Mykonos.
Excellent, Nikos. We will be there. Figen, the future, I think, looks very bright for Istanbul, as the project you mentioned is also has to do with locals. And I know, and because I had the pleasure to visit, that you had a great plan of opening up, cruising to the community on Istanbul and surrounding areas. And if we take into consideration that Istanbul is a city of 22 million, I think definitely the future is there for attracting and sourcing, locals to do cruising. Tell us a bit more about this project.
Yeah, thank you for directing this really relevant question, Ioannis, because we're looking always at the cruise industry from the international visitors, which is going to be really positive. We're expecting for 2022 about 250 calls, and we're reaching the numbers that we left behind. So the resuming of the traffic is just fantastic. But we have to also introduce the cruise industry to the locals as well. And to do so, when we were doing our planning, we created a parking space underneath the terminal building. So the terminal building is going down to 8.5 meters under the Bosphorus. So it's a submarine. But underneath the terminal building, there's a second and third level, which is housing about 2,400 cars. So why it is relevant, as you picked it up? Well, people who are just living an hour away from the port will be able just to drive to Galataport, Istanbul, park their car, go one level up, give their luggage to my team, and their journey will be starting. So it's a very, we know, and like John said, that the cruise industry is an amazing industry, which is just building up and just really, we have always faced challenges. But the most appropriate thing about the cruise industry is the comfort of traveling in different places that you wouldn't reach in such a short period of time. So when you have an amazing 1 week itinerary with beautiful islands, Greek islands like Mykonos, Patmos, etc., and you have Turkey as well, it would be impossible to do it in a week. So the best thing about the cruise industry is to travel in a very comfortable manner. And we give it thanks to this, this infrastructure. So yeah, we are very happy just to give also the ability not only to the cruise companies to come to our port, but also to the Turkish locals all around Turkey, by the way. It's not only 22 million, like you said, it's also, as we have flights, regular flights to Istanbul, it's the whole Anatolian and the whole connecting countries which would be opening up.
And I am very looking forward and I'm working with some ports in the area, including Mykonos, including Kavala, including Patmos, including Paros, to welcome Turkish visitors. Like the Greeks are very good tourists. The same goes for the Turks. They're very good tourists, and I know that I've been enjoying Turkish food when I ever go to Turkey, and I know Turkish are enjoying the Greek food. So there you are. Thank you for that.
Welcome, always welcome, Ioannis.
Thank you, John. I know that we have some very nice videos that we will be watching in the next few minutes. John, I know you sent us a nice video with a very nice description of your terminals and your surrounding area. Let's have a look and let's discuss after. Wow, John. I know I've been there and I've seen your terminals, but see them from an aerial view, they look even better. Thank you so much for your video. And I mean, I know that you're taking great care of organizing everything, that all the operations are organized smoothly. And I know that you have opportunities for not just the flights, but also for the local source market to visit and start cruises from your area. And I know many of them are coming to Greece and also the other places. So job well done. I mean, something to comment about. And also, before I go, and this is the question will go for all of you, I want a comment to tell me your top 3 best places or things to visit in your destination. So there you are, your opportunity to shine and tell us what we have to see when you come to your port and your area.
To try and answer your question, it's not that easy, not just because Civitavecchia is the port of Rome. Remember, Rome is the city with the most UNESCO heritage sites in the whole world. So if I just had to pick 3 destinations in Rome, obviously there's more than 3, apart from the Pantheon, St. Peter, the Colosseum, the Fora Romana, everything. All I can say is, Ioannis, I've been 8 years in Civitavecchia, and when I can, on the weekend, I just get in a car and go and discover. And something we've noticed, and this also reflects the resilience and the innovation of the cruise lines, is that since there were some issues also on how to organize the tours because of the COVID restrictions, what we have seen is that we have seen a lot of visits to areas around Civitavecchia. I'm talking about places like Tuscania, Viterbo, Tarquinia, Cerveteri, Civitavecchia itself, a lot of walking tours in Civitavecchia, and many other places that perhaps even Italians themselves wouldn't have planned to visit. And I would recommend these places. I mean, if I had to tell you Viterbo, not a lot of people know, have a procession with a 30-meter statue, which is, you know, a sort of a UNESCO event in itself, and it happens in the beginning of September. Tarquina with its burial sites from the time of the Etruscans. So there's a lot and a lot to visit. So yes, it's good that you pointed out about, you know, passengers leaving from various destinations in the Mediterranean, and, you know, Roma Cruise Terminal, our company, we do take care in ensuring that the facilities that we have, as you have seen in the video, in order to ensure that we can ensure a smooth turnaround operation, but also a smooth transit operation. Terminal Amerigo Vespucci, as you've seen, is about 11,500 square meters in long, but this year we'll be setting up a new structure on Key 10, specifically for the boutique, the small, I would call the small to medium cruise ships, because we are, I would say, the home port, the Mediterranean home port for these brands. In addition, we will also be, but this is for 2024, start the construction of a second terminal close to Terminal Amerigo Vespucci. So, you know, Roma Cruise Terminal, and particularly its shareholders, Costa, MSC, and Royal Caribbean, are investing a lot in Civitavecchia in order to ensure that what we'd like to say is, and that was the whole concept in the design of Terminal Amerigo Vespucci, is that we wanted the passengers to feel that their holiday started the moment they entered into our terminal. And that is the concept that is sort of determining the way we will be designing future terminals, and also how we plan our facilities for the future. Ioannis, unfortunately, you would need more than 3 days to get to see the site. I think you need more than a year just to visit Rome.
I agree. Every time I come to Rome, I see something new. I agree with you. And I also agree that, you know, we must understand that the port is the first and the last thing people see.
Exactly.
And the ports need to take into consideration the design, and they need to provide a smooth experience, provide the right information to the passenger. Let's not forget that cruise is psychology, psychology is cruise. And as we go off COVID and we go back to normal, I think this will become more important every day and every day. And the passengers will be there to pass on the message across the social media network, go for a cruise, go to Civitavecchia, go to Rome, or go to any other port. Thank you for that, John.
If I may, Ioannis, if
yes,
I may, I think, we perhaps what's also very important these past 2 years, and also going forward, is that we all have to recognize the help that all of us, I'm sure Figen and Nikos has referred to it a lot in his intervention, is that the importance of working closely with the authorities. We found the authorities, the Coast Guard, the health control, the Portelli, have been very helpful in the past two years. But bear in mind that Civitavecchia at one point had 14 ships in layup in our term, in the port or anchor. So what we found very important is cooperation, communicating with the authorities, giving all the information, and this also having a close working relationship with the authorities, and particularly with the cruise lines. So and we want to, the lessons that we've learned in these 2 years, I try to take even some optimistic, I try to be optimistic even in the worst of circumstances, and I want to, so the lessons that we've learned in these past 2 years, to take them over and use them sort of for our future development. Thank you.
Very, very important that you say communication, cooperation is one of the keys of success. Let's now move to the beautiful video from Istanbul and Galataport. Let's have a look and let's chat about it after. Wow, Figen. I mean, I've seen the terminal myself, but looking at it at this angle, I can only say wow. I know it's beautiful, the whole infrastructure there, and I know you described it before, but also a few comments about this. And then, yes, I know it's difficult, I know it's very hard, but give us your 3 top picks for your destination, please.
Well, the destination, I joined John that from now on, the passengers have to step in the terminal building and they have to start their experience of the destination within the port that we are representing each. The 3 bucket list of Istanbul, wow, it's so hard. And I would reply as a tour guide, because I'm a licensed professional tour guide. First of all, they are actually few steps away from the port. There's a brand new museum which is open, and it has been designed by Renzo Piano. It's his masterpiece, one of his finest masterpiece, which is in the port. And then actually, I would say the Galata Tower, because it's just like the Eiffel Tower of Istanbul. You have a possibility of looking at the city from a 360 degree, and it's the geography of Istanbul is particular, and everybody knows that it's astride 2 continents. So you clearly see it from the Galata Tower, which is again few walks away from our port. And the third one would be a Bosphorus cruise. take a boat and sail along the Bosphorus. And I see that our friends who have visited Istanbul before have immediately smiled, because it's a one-of-a-kind experience where you see the mansion on one side and the beautiful hotels on the other side. And talking about hotels, we will have also the peninsula in our property. So yeah, it's very difficult, and it won't be able to do it in 3 days.
I know,
You
I know, I know. Let me add something out of the ordinary though. A 3+1, and it's out of the ordinary. A Turkish bath. Oh my God, what a nice experience this can be.
Yes.
All right, thank you, Nikos. Let's have a look at the video from Mykonos, and let's chat about it after. Hey, Nikos, you want me now to come in Mykonos again? I mean, I know that the scenery, the beaches, and the lifestyle is beautiful, and you know, I'm a regular visitor of Mykonos, but wow. But okay, I know you will say Delos, and I'm very big fan of Delos. But if I give this to you, give us your 3 topics about the island.
You know that it's very difficult to distinguish, parts of the island, because Mykonos, it's a well-known and world well-known island, as a tourism opportunity. So the destination of Mykonos in general, it's very difficult to distinguish any of their place. But of Little Venice, we've been together there, with the nightlife of Little Venice, Paraportiani. The old downtown of Mykonos is something is especially and Cycladic architecture that we have. So for me, it's very difficult. I'm not going to give you right now, places of Mykonos, because definitely I will forget one of my best or my favorite places. So for me, I can give you the opportunity to live and enjoy dream sunny beaches all over the island. And all-day entertainment in the old downtown, or even around the island. Several restaurant, beaches, wherever we have all-day entertainment. But the most important for me, it's the unique experience of VIP services all around the island, respecting our history, our tradition, our nature, which is magnificent, and of course our Cycladic architecture of our island. So
I agree with you, Nikos, and let me add your beautiful cheese, which I had the opportunity to taste with you, and is not very well known.
Kopanisi is the spicy one, and we have Tirovolia, which is like the Cretona that you have, and we use it like Misithra.
yeah, that's great.
But
all right,
Uzo is excellent.
So my itinerary is I'm not sure. I'll probably start from Civitavecchia, fly to Istanbul, and then end up in Mykonos with all of you, and party in the summer. Definitely is a day at Mykonos. I would like to thank all our viewers for being with us today, and let's not forget that in a couple of months' time, less than a couple of months' time, we have Seatrade Global, which I'm really looking forward to seeing all the friends, all the family there. And connect again and talk about cruise. Cruise is a family. Let's not forget Ioannis Bras on LinkedIn. Let's network together, and this is very important. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I thank you, Figen, John, and Nikos, and I'll see you all next time. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you for inviting
All
us.
the very
I really
best.